Yeah, okay. Coming up tonight on News Watch, major developments in the case against a woman accused of stealing from a dental office in Mattoon.
No snow tonight. Well, hopefully we'll have Cameron Craig for that later on. But also tonight in the news.
You're good.
Oh.
Skywatch meteorologist, we've got snow on the way, people.
We begin the night down the road at Baker Gym as Charleston Trojans look for a bounce-back game after losing 4.
Coming up tonight on News Watch, major developments in the case against a woman accused of stealing from a dental office in Mattoon. We'll have an update.
Also tonight, a new report reveals the condition of some oil pumps across the state could cost Illinois residents their health and billions of dollars. This is News Watch, and your Wednesday night's edition starts now.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.
A former employee at a Mattoon dental office is now facing federal charges. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Williamson.
And I'm Olivia Bennett. According to court documents, Rebecca Gutierrez, former office manager for Hastings and Havlick Family Dentistry, is accused of stealing $900,000 from the business over several years to pay off her credit card debt. Documents show the charges against her in Coles County, 2 counts of theft and 1 count of attempted theft, were dropped last week. Now that's because this week Gutierrez was federally indicted on 5 counts of wire fraud. Court records show she makes her first appearance in federal court this Friday. After reports from several victims, a Mahomet man is arrested for child sex charges. The Mahomet Police Department says officers arrested 64-year-old Willie Luckett after a report from the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. Police say that report detailed sexual abuse allegations against Luckett from several children under the age of 10. Officials say the children were living in a home with Luckett and had been left in his care on several occasions. Luckett faces 4 counts of predatory sexual assault of a victim under the age of 13. Court records show he was granted pretrial release and his next hearing is February 24th. We're learning more about an arrest in Charleston Sunday. Police say they've arrested 29-year-old Skylar Bryant on charges of unlawful use of weapons. Officers with the city responded to a call reporting unsecured weapons at a home in the 2300 block of Bostick Drive. Police say they arrived to the location and found 6 guns and ammunition, and they say Bryant was taken into custody without incident. Authorities say Bryant had been on pretrial release for a grooming charge last year.
A new report reveals aging oil pumps could cost Illinois residents their health and billions of dollars. Capital News Illinois reports data from environmental advocacy group Client Earth USA indicates most of Illinois' 30,000 oil wells are inactive, but not properly sealed. Now, Illinois law requires wells to be plugged and capped if they haven't produced oil or gas for 2 years. But the state doesn't collect data on which wells are active, making it difficult for the Illinois Department of Natural Resources to actually enforce the law. The group says abandoned wells pose an environmental hazard, especially to drinking water. Illinois has a plugging and restoration fund, which helps cover the cost of sealing a well, but at $100,000 per well, the $64 million fund is severely limited. IDNR says federal dollars are supporting the task, and they're prioritizing the most dangerous wells. To cap every well in Illinois, it would cost around $3 billion. A Northern Illinois federal judge makes a decision on an ongoing banking lawsuit. Yesterday, Judge Virginia Kendall issued an opinion upholding key parts of the Illinois Interchange Fee Prohibition Act. That act bans banks and other payment networks from charging fees on tips or taxes paid by debit or credit cards. The lawsuit was filed by America's credit unions, the Illinois Credit Union League, the American Bankers Association, and the Illinois Bankers Association. After the decision, those groups released the statement saying they were deeply disappointed in the decision and plan to appeal. The law is set to take effect July 1st. Now in tonight's National Watch, officials are reporting new developments in the Nancy Guthrie case.
Just hours after the FBI released doorbell camera footage from outside Guthrie's front door the night she disappeared, a person was detained for questioning. Ivan Rodriguez has more from Catalina Foothills.
A man is speaking out after being detained and questioned by authorities over the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. The individual was detained during a traffic stop an hour's drive south of Tucson. Authorities executed a search warrant at a home and also searched a car. Both of those searches taking place in Rio Rico, Arizona, roughly 60 miles south of Tucson, near the U.S.-Mexico border. Authorities did not file charges, and he was eventually released. Those developments happening just hours after the FBI released doorbell camera footage from outside Nancy Guthrie's front door, taken the night she disappeared. The video showed a masked, armed person with a backpack. There was an uptick in calls to law enforcement after the release of the footage.
TMZ reports it received an email from someone claiming to know the identity of Guthrie's kidnapper and demanding 1 Bitcoin in exchange for their information. The FBI says outside of the new images, they have no updates at this time.
The city of Urbana has named a permanent public works director, and it's a familiar name. Vince Gustafson was appointed interim director in June of 2025. The Urbana City Council made the temporary appointment permanent at Monday's city council meeting. Urbana Mayor Deshaun Williams praised Gustafson for his collaborative attitude and openness to change. Gustafson has worked for the city since 2004. Voters in the Shelbyville School District have a chance to learn about a proposal for a new elementary school. In March, voters will decide on a $40 million bond issue to replace the current Main Street Elementary building, which is more than 100 years old. Officials say the upgraded building would fix issues with the current one, with more space, more rooms to teach, and of course, more parking lots. They're offering the first of 2 informational meetings on the proposal tonight at 7 at the current school, along with walkthroughs starting at 6.
The city of Charleston is adding improvements to its Linder Sports Complex. The city recently received a $7,200 placemaking grant from the National Association of Realtors to buy benches for the new pickleball courts. 8 benches will be installed. Charleston Mayor Brandon Combs says the benches will enhance the overall experience for residents and visitors using the sports complex. The total cost of the project is estimated at $9,200, and the city will pay the remaining balance. A local conservation group secures funding for a habitat project. Friends of Lake Shelbyville has been awarded a $2,000 grant from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources and the Illinois Conservation Foundation. The funds through the Illinois Schoolyard Habitat Action Grant Program will be used to support a native habitat in collaboration with Shelbyville area high school students. The grant has funded similar projects at the Sullivan Elementary School and the Effingham High School. The state of Illinois is looking to grow interest in the community, agriculture. The Illinois Department of Agriculture is inviting individuals and families to take part in the IDOA Community Garden, which is set to open March 10th. The community garden features 200 individual 10 by 10 plots, with 100 for organic gardening and the other for non-organic gardening. The Department of Agriculture says this event will allow participants to grow fresh produce, build food security, and connect with agriculture in the state of the Illinois State Fairgrounds. No previous experience is required, and to register, visit the site on your screen. Well, the warm-up is a step in the right direction towards that gardening weather.
Meteorologist Cameron Craig is in the Weather Center with more information on just how high our temperatures could go.
Now just wait, this is supposed to be the tease for weather. And so I can't guarantee that we'll have warmer temperatures. There might be some snow, but I'll give you the whole report here in a little bit.
A family in Southern California is okay after a terrifying moment was captured showing large waves tossing and capsizing their boat. The Santa Cruz Fire Department shared the video saying the boat was loaded with 2 adults and 4 children when the waves struck the craft. KSBW reports surfers in the water immediately came to the rescue, using their boards to get the family members to safety. The victims reportedly suffered only minor cuts and bruises from the incident. Officials say it could have ended worse, but also that it may have been avoided, saying the family was reportedly warned ahead of time not to go out on the water amid dangerous conditions. Well, in case you missed it, a plane in Georgia missed its intended destination when engine problems forced the pilot to land their craft on a busy Gainesville roadway instead. The small plane struck and damaged several vehicles upon landing, but thankfully only minor injuries were reported. The FAA is now sorting out exactly what led to the trafficy touchdown. Finally, speaking of roadways and safety and stuff hitting other stuff, take a look at why it's so important to properly secure cargo when driving. Video shows what appeared to be loose luggage struck by a van on a Utah highway. No one was hurt, but I can't say the same for the van, which did sustain some damage. Utah Highway Patrol troopers dragged the debris to the shoulder and later posted to socials saying, "Tie it down, tarp it over, and double-check your cargo. Events like this one are 100% preventable." For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Yeah, that wasn't very fair of me to say, there's snow in the forecast. I usually ask my students, or I usually say, expect 6 inches of snow tomorrow. And they're like, oh, really? No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So what we're looking at right now, the high temperature today, it was absolutely wonderful. 46 in Charleston, 47 in Decatur, 46 in Terre Haute, and 46 in Effingham. And so across the region right now, we're looking at 38. The temperature's dropping, but don't be too afraid. Those temperatures are not going to go too far. 45 in Decatur right now and 39 in Effingham. Overnight tonight, we can look at temperatures at 30 degrees. Increasing cloudiness, it will confine around 3 p.m. and then high pressure is still building in, so we're going to have nice sunny skies. Get out there and enjoy a good walk with a pet. And then as we enter in Friday, 8 a.m., look at this. This is absolutely wonderful. We have sunny skies to begin the weekend and warmer temperatures on the way. And see, nothing changes. It is getting much better. All right, as we go into the 3-day forecast, here you go. You are welcome. Saturday, rain possible overnight. Not much. Again, we're still in a dry spell. And then 53 for the daytime high, 55 on Sunday, and Monday at 57. And then what we get is a good outlook. We're significantly above average in temperature for the next week plus 2 days. And then as we look at this, the reason why, okay, so this is great. This is absolutely education in style. So we have a ridge of warm air. As it begins to move into the weekend, we will have a trough of cold air, but not much, but that's going to be the rainmaker that moves into our region. Now you see this for Sunday. This is the ridge that's going to bring us the temperatures that we are going to enjoy for the entire week. So we have 47 on Thursday, 50, 53, look at this, 55, 57, 60 on Tuesday with sunny skies, 64 the following day. Absolutely wonderful. You are welcome.
Well, Cameron, I don't want to speak for everyone at this table, but I am definitely hoping that Punxsutawney Phil got it wrong.
Yes, not a meteorologist.
Yeah, I would say.
Oh, I trust. Some people seem to think he is, though. I don't know.
I get that, but that's okay. Well, you're forgiven.
Well, thanks, Cameron. Still coming up tonight in sports, the Indiana Pacers take on a heated rival, and it takes more than 48 minutes to decide a winner.
But first, U of I basketball gets put on upset alert. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
Hi, I'm Larry Smith, second-generation EIU Panther and a proud alum of the WEIU program. For nearly 4 decades, I've had the privilege of reporting on some of the biggest stories of my generation, from getting to know so many East Central Illinoisans to a quarter century on the anchor desks at CNN Sports and Turner Sports, covering major events worldwide, championship celebrations, and even presidential inaugurations. It's been a career that has far exceeded even my wildest dreams. One that would not have been possible without WEIU, which finds itself in peril. Recent legislation in Washington took away the program's federal funding. So on their behalf, I'm asking you to consider making a donation. WEIU is one of the best training grounds in the nation for students who have a passion for journalism, broadcasting, radio, TV production, and they're worth your gift. You can find more info at weiu.net. Thank you in advance for your gift.
We begin the night down the road at Baker Gym as the Charleston Trojans look for a bounce-back game after losing 4 in a row. Alex Matheny is getting his first start in a month and a half. He makes his presence known here, splashing the 3 to put the Trojans within 7. Matheny, yet again, this time it's from the top, and he greens it. Matheny scored 14 of the Charleston's 15 points in the second quarter. Now it's Cruz Dunlap with the mid-range jumper for Robinson. Charleston leads by 1 going into halftime. In the second half, Robinson starts to pull away. Hudson Midster grabs the ball up top, and he has no problem flushing this one. Robinson scores 40 points in the second half, and it was just too much for CHS to handle as the Trojans fall 62-52. The Maroons also had 4 players score in double figures, with Jetson Holt scoring 33 of his own. Head coach Colin McNearney knows what went well.
Yeah, we knew they were going to sit in the zone the whole game, and so we knew we were going to try to be patient with the ball, spread it around, take our time, and early on we did that well. Alex Matheny had his best career game, ended up with 20-something, I don't know exactly, but he caught fire there at the end of the second quarter, really brought us back in the game, so I think we were patient with the ball when we were moving it, swinging it. We got some really good looks and capitalized on that.
Tyler Oakey also finished the game with 11 points and now has over 1,500 points in his CHS career. With the loss, Charleston falls to 4-23 on the season and is still on the hunt for an Apollo Conference win. The Trojans have 4 more chances this year to pick up that win, with the next matchup Friday against Mount Zion. While Charleston may have not gotten a victory, let's see if any of the other teams in our areas can get a win. In Class 1A, Oquaw Valley defeats Tri-County 70-65, while Heritage wins over Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond 68-63. In Class 2A, Highland beats Effingham in overtime 58-57, while Shelbyville dominates Central A&M 80-31. Over to Macomb, as both EIU men's and women's basketball teams are in desperate need of a win. The women's team gets crushed by Western Illinois 93-49. Ella Loon and Adriana Arroyo each tallied a team-high 9 points for the Panthers in the defeat. Eastern's rough run continues. They're now 4-22 on the season and are 3-12 in the OVC. The men's Leatherneck team had not won an OVC game all season before last night, as Western stuns Eastern 79-70, snapping a 14-game losing streak. It was a brutal loss at a brutal time for EIU. They're now 6-9 in conference play, with its tournament's hope hanging by a thread. After a heartbreaking loss to Michigan State, Illinois has a chance to bounce back against Wisconsin. We start in the first half as Keaton Wagler gets boxed up. He throws up a prayer that somehow goes in. Then the Fighting Illini go on a run, making 3 after 3 after 3. And then it ends with Wagler going on a drive, putting Illinois up by 12. But that lead would not stay as Wisconsin comes back, tying the game with this from beyond the arch. And we are going into overtime. In OT, the Badgers would take a 6-point lead, and it would not stay. Never fear, Keaton Wagler is here as he makes a long 3 to make it a 1-possession game. Illinois has one last chance to win, and with this shot, they don't make it. They lose to Wisconsin 92-90. Illinois head coach Brad Underwood was hot after the game.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. I'm done talking to people. I don't get called. I'm done. I'm frustrated as heck. I'm very frustrated. And because it changes so much from game to game. We had a guy tonight we haven't had in 2 years. 2 years. Do a league game. Do a league game in 2 years.
Despite the loss, Wagler had an impressive night, scoring 34 points and recording 7 assists. Illinois is now 20-5 on the year while being 11-3 in conference play and sitting second place in the Big Ten. The Fighting Illini will try to bounce back on Sunday against Indiana. One of the biggest NBA rivalries of all time, the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks add another chapter at Madison Square Garden. With just 4 minutes to go, Jalen Brunson's fancy footwork has the Pacers defense dancing, and this tough bucket puts the Knicks up front. But Pascal Siakam gives Indy a 3-point cushion after burying a crucial mid-range jumper. With now down by 2 with 5 seconds left, Karl Anthony Towns is fouled on the buzzer beater attempt, and he makes both free throws, and we go to overtime. However, the Pacers dominate OT, and this 3 by Quentin Jackson secures an impressive road win for Indy. The Knicks try to make a late charge, but the Pacers hold on and win 137-134. Indiana is back in action tonight in New York against the Nets, and the Bulls play the Celtics in Nikola Vucevic's first game against his former team. Sports Watch will have the recap of both games tomorrow night. In Milan Cortina, Team USA is starting to rack up more medals in the 2026 Winter Olympic Games. Ashley Farquharson became the 3rd American woman ever to win a medal in singles luge, taking home bronze. Today, Elizabeth Limey and Jalen Koff got first place and second place in women's Mongols freestyle skiing. Jordan Scholes became the first American man to win gold in the 100-meter speed skating event since 2010. Team USA now holds 11 total medals with 4 golds, 5 silvers, and 2 bronze. Today is the first day for men's hockey, and for the first time in 12 years that NHL athletes are participating. Slovakia stunned Finland 4-1 earlier today, while Sweden took down host nation Italy 5-2. Team USA debuts tomorrow against Latvia. Finally tonight, Mattoon football has a brand new head coach. The Green Wave announced Tuesday that they are hired Chad Augsburger as their new head varsity coach and the new dean of students. Augsburger replaces current dean and head coach Jared Kimbrough, who will become the new principal of this fall of Arlen D. Williams Elementary School. That's all for sports. Matt, Olivia, back to you.
All right, thanks, Pierce. Coming up, Cameron Craig will be back to recap tonight's Skywatch forecast.
But first, the Princess of Pop is making moves. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
I'm Everett Lau, an Eastern Illinois University graduate from the class of 2021. As an Edgar County farm kid, I grew up with a childhood dream of becoming a broadcast meteorologist. I spent a lot of time in the WEIU studio during my 4 years in college, and that's how I got to this studio, WTHI TV in Terre Haute, Indiana. WEIU prepared me for long nights of tracking thunderstorms, fine-tuning details of approaching winter storms, and how to be a broadcaster in general, whether it was weather, news, or even sports. I needed WEIU to achieve my dream, and now WEIU needs me and you to help carry out its mission of setting up students for success. Please consider making a financial gift to support WEIU so the station and its dedicated staff to continue operating this outstanding training ground for aspiring broadcasters, journalists, and scientists. Your gift can allow local students like me provide local programming for our local communities. Learn more at weiu.net or by calling the station. Thanks for watching.
Finally tonight, oops, she did it again. Britney Spears is back in the spotlight. Spears has reportedly sold ownership of her music catalog to Primary Wave. That's a music and marketing company based in New York which specializes in catalog data. It's not clear how much the company paid. A number of news outlets have reported the sale, but neither Spears nor Primary Wave have confirmed it. Now it's time for Cameron Craig to hit us, baby, one more time with tonight's Skywatch forecast.
Yeah, we're looking at 47 tomorrow, but then we increase those temperatures all the way up to 60 on Tuesday, 64 on Wednesday, and people keep asking me, is this the end of the snow? We are in the middle of our snow season, so we still have a few months, so hang in there, snow lovers.
Yes, well, I am definitely hoping it stays 60 though next week.
It will be enjoyable.
Yeah, very excited for that. Well, Cameron, that's actually all the time we have for tonight's edition of Newswatch.
For more news and weather, make sure to log on to our website at weiu.net.
And if news is happening in your community, let us know by dropping us an email at news@weiu.net.
Join us again tomorrow at 5:30 for another edition of Newswatch Nightcap. Newswatch. Good night.
Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.